Hi there, Waltoneers.
I'm Jack.
And this is DSMY Newscast on location here at Walt Disney World.
He is at Disney World.
News video.
He's in Contemporary, I think.
Details, and also the debut date for Disney Starlight, Dream the Night Away.
Starlight.
New nighttime
Starbright.
to Walt Disney World this summer. I'm not going to bury the lead any further.
Bury it.
Debut on Sunday, July 20th.
And we know this. July. We have a month. A month and like 2 weeks.
Brand new concept art.
It does look cool.
Of the actual parade itself, a first listen.
I can't wait to see the nighttime lights.
Hollywood Studios and the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, see, I told you, he's right there.
But this parade is a huge deal.
Yes.
It's going to debut on July 20th, and the reason why it's a huge deal is this is the first time since 1990.
I was gonna say
that Walt Disney World's had a brand new nighttime parade like this.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we had a legit actual nighttime parade that wasn't for Halloween. All right, Amber, we'll see you in the air. I'll pick you up later. Yeah, this is the first time, because I can't even remember, because I wasn't even 10 by then, and I can't even remember the nighttime parade, right? So this will be cool. This will kind of be the first time I've ever seen a nighttime parade, which also means that I have to record it. I have to make sure the lighting good. Yeah, all that stuff.
Last time they had a brand new nighttime parade, if you believe it or not, was October 1st, 1991 with Spectro Magic.
Yeah,
remember that?
I never saw that.
Through till
what is that thing?
And it went away for a couple of years, and then it had a second run from 2001 to 2010 before it glowed away forever.
Oh, it had 2001 to 2010? What was I doing back then? I wasn't going to Disney that often, actually, at all. I wasn't a I definitely wasn't Disney, so I missed it completely during that time.
Main Street Electrical Parade at Walt Disney World. Now, in terms of the parade sequence, it will begin with the Blue Fairy leading the parade at the very beginning from Pinocchio. And that's obviously a little tribute to Main Street Electrical Parade there. Then it will have Peter Pan and Wendy on their float. And then it will have Usher from Disney Wish. Will have a float as well. And then it will be Encanto with the whole...
the Encanto one will look cool. That's cool. I like the light, the candle, you know.
On that float. And then it's going to be Elsa representing Frozen. And then it's going to be what they call the Disney Royals float, where it's going to have 4 Disney royal couples.
Yep, we know this.
Yep. Aurora and Prince Philip, Tiana and Prince Naveen, Belle and the Beast, and Cinderella and Prince Charming.
Yep.
Then we're going to have the Coco float. So
that Coco float, it should be dope. That looks cool, though.
Miguel, Dante, and Pepita on that float. And then there's going to be an amazing Moana float within this parade as well.
That'll look cool also.
The breaking news portion of this, as we've got brand new concept art for the finale of Starlight. And as you can see here on the stream, the finale will pay tribute to the original Main Street Electrical Parade. So at the very front of the train, you can see it looks like Casey Jr.-esque.
Casey Jr.-esque, yeah.
The float there. But then it's going to have Goofy, Pluto, Donald Duck and Daisy, and then Snow White and Dopey will be in a minecart. It will have Rapunzel in a lantern rowboat. As part of this finale.
Nice.
And then also Aladdin and Jasmine.
We got Aladdin.
Carpet will appear in the finale.
And then, of course, she can't be completed.
Finishing off the parade with
Mickey and Minnie
in what looks to be an
illuminated chariot. That looks kind of cool.
Their way in the finale of Starlight. So
what happened here?
The final piece.
I really hope these, I assume that these lights are going to be pretty awesome. I assume that these parade lights are going to be cool looking. I can only assume. I mean, coming from the picture, obviously they look cool, but just by looking at the Halloween ones and everything, I'm pretty sure these are going to be very lit up and it's going to look awesome. So I can't wait for it.
So the puzzle, the final piece of concept art for Starlight. And then the other thing...
Oh, look, they have their outfits.
At Mickey and Minnie and Goofy in their illuminated outfits.
Yeah.
So part of the...
They look cool. I like those outfits.
Cool Kids Summer media preview event that just took place over the last 2 days. That's the reason why I'm here right now on location filming this video instead of in my studio like usual.
They got little lights and everything on there. They got little lights.
Costumes that Mickey, Minnie and Goofy will be wearing in this parade. We've also got brand new footage that's being revealed for the parade floats up close.
You see what I mean?
That this isn't going to be using neon LEDs like Paint the Night over at Disneyland, but instead this is going to be using LEDs but in fairy light style LED lights. So
what the hell does that mean?
Very reminiscent of Main Street Electrical Parade and also Spectro Magic.
What does that even mean?
And even the logo itself, I'll put it on the screen right now, it has that Spectro Magic vibe to it. And so they're really paying tribute to previous nighttime parades and nighttime spectaculars. And I even believe that the intro to this parade might even use something very similar to the Wishes intro, where it's, you know, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight.
Right.
And Pinocchio, obviously it's a very well-known nursery rhyme about starlight there. But if they use that, it's kind of paying tribute to Wishes as well within the parade.
So we just need to know.
Featured in a Facebook advert for this parade. And so I would say more than likely we might hear that at the beginning.
We need to know the time now.
And then also thanks to Disney Live Entertainment over
look.
on Instagram, we've got this additional sneak peek at the behind-the-scenes construction of the parade floats. And
cool, okay.
As you can see here, it looks like this is the Encanto parade float, as we can see the...
That's definitely Encanto.
Set piece as part of that parade float is the candle from Encanto. And then we can also see what looks to be the Moana.
That's Moana, obviously, yeah.
Domitala's spiritual manta ray show set piece that will be part of that parade float as well. And obviously music's going to be a huge part of Disney Starlight, and as the creative show directors did mention at the event, that the soundtrack for Starlight is going to be
who did these captions like this
of Disney animated classics, and not just limited to the ones which are going to be featured.
The lights on the floats, yeah, they're going to be cool.
And then in terms of the theme, we didn't get a full preview of the theme. We only just got a very small snippet of the theme, but
what's the snippet?
We heard it did sound like that grand orchestral score that was very reminiscent in a way to Spectro Magic. So I've got high hopes for the Starlight theme as well. And so personally, I'm very excited to see this parade. I've been talking about a new nighttime parade coming to Walt Disney World for many years here on the channel. Since 2018, I did videos on this when rumors started to begin to circulate. To finally get the debut date for this parade, it's a huge deal. And so, okay.
So one thing that hopefully the soundtrack will live up. Yeah, you can talk to your blue in the face about. I've been talking about a parade, a nighttime parade for 5 years, 10 years. Okay, but it didn't happen till now. So like, you can't just be like, oh, I was right the whole time. You know what I mean? Maybe he wasn't saying that. I'm just saying like, yeah, I've been talking about it for a while, and it's good to see that we finally have one. But we didn't know what we were expecting.
To me personally, nothing quite says classic Disney magic like a nighttime parade going through the park and seeing those lights. And also, I can't wait to see the look on my son's face as he sees this nighttime parade, you know, go past and he sees all the twinkling lights. So, you know, that's Disney magic, and I also just can't wait to see all of that. And then we have Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, which is a brand new
show. Well, we'll watch it. We'll watch it.
May 27th.
We'll see it.
Hollywood Studios.
Give the review.
Sunset Showcase Theatre location to the side of Rock and Roller Coaster. It's where the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy was located before. Now, they've completely transformed this theatre, and there's some very comfortable seats in there, and it's a long show. It's
they're comfortable? Good.
Long,
I need comfortable seats.
To rest your feet and get a bit of AC as well. But I really enjoyed this show. I had some reservations beforehand because I didn't know how the dynamics of the actual show were going to work, because it's kind of an audience participation to the show. But I can tell you right now that the videos that you saw already, probably on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, from the early cast member previews, they don't do it justice. I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. Really, this is a show that has an energy to it, which you need to be there for. And the other thing about videos is, most videos aren't filmed at ultra wide, so you don't see the whole theatre. You only see what the camera wants you to see.
Right.
And you can't hear the audience, you can't feel the energy of the performers. It's a full 180-degree wraparound kind of stage that you've got there, and it really does envelop.
It's 180 degrees.
The set theming for the art direction behind Disney Villains, and they even have like cannons popping out of the stage and smoke bubbles and lighting effects for the Cruella segment, and just the digital graphic design behind the show. It's fantastic set dressing for the actual screens and the way it's all being used. Now, I've heard some complaints being that, oh, there's only 3 performers for this show.
Right.
And I think you've got to remember what this is replacing. This is replacing a talking car, a talking...
Hey, Lightning McQueen, how you doing?
Which was fun to look at for a couple of minutes, but when you look at a talking car for 15 minutes, does it carry the show in the same way that live performers do? You got to ask yourself that question.
Okay, all right, fair. That's fair.
I much prefer Disney villains this show. I think, you know, it's going to have a lot of life and longevity to this show in many ways. And I know people are talking about, oh, there could have been backing dances and stuff like that, but the show format doesn't really lend itself to that kind of show with just a medley of villain songs and stuff like that. It's trying to be the villains making their case to the magic mirror for the reason why they're the most unfairly treated of them all. And so, you know, having each individual performer on stage really works. All three performers did a great job. The Cruella performance was very much like the 2021 Cruella live action. I really liked the way that was done there, and it had a lot of that kind of vibe to the show. Then Hook.
Okay.
I thought Hook was a standout in this show, Captain Hook here, and he reminded me a lot of Hook from Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Yes, I'm showing my Disney
Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Disney Junior content at the moment. So, yeah, Jake and the Neverland Pirates. It was a different take on Captain Hook. And the Maleficent segment with the art direction, it really does give you a taste of what Villains Land is going to bring to the Magic Kingdom over there. So I can't wait for everyone to see this show. But one thing I will
That's
say
a cool image. I like that.
Over time, I would like to see it refreshed and have different villains.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have different villains.
Have Hades and Jafar on the screens there. And maybe you could have Mother Gothel or Gaston and, like, you know, rotate them out, freshen up the show in a couple of years' time with different villains. Or potentially, I would have liked to see them maybe have 5 villains, and then you don't know which 3 you were going to get. But they're just very small critiques of the show. The show overall, I think that it's a fantastic job.
Okay, we do have to go see it. We'll go see it. Throwing the cars under the bus. Yeah, I know.
Studios, and it had a 75-minute wait time today on the opening day for this.
Yeah, it was a long wait time that day.
Jodie Benson, Disney legend and the voice of Ariel in the 1989 animated classic, The Little Mermaid, introduced the show. And I actually had the opportunity yesterday to have a very brief interview with Jodie Benson at the media event. So I'm just going to throw to the couple of questions I got to ask Jodie Benson.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Howard's obviously 75th birthday would have been last week. And just wondering, how do you think Howard would have reacted to seeing his work live on in this way in the Disney parks so many years later and be reimagined for new generations?
Yeah, I think Howard would love that. I think Howard would love this show, this new show, The Musical Adventure. Because it's fun and
Who's Howard?
To the true story. Anytime that we can tell our story over and over again with the next generation, it's beautiful. And I know Howard would really, really love that. His career is just brilliant, and we're honored that we get to carry on his legacy in whatever way we can.
The show is
Mozart.
located in Disney's Hollywood Studios, pretty close to Toy Story Land in a way, which is
yeah, just for a little bit.
You're very known.
Maybe after this.
And in a way, that whole section of park's kind of like a Jodie Benson kind of area of Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just wondering, are you excited for Toy Story 5 coming out, which is next year as well?
What is that?
I'm a huge Toy Story fan, and I love that we're continuing on with the story. So I'm very excited to see what Toy Story 5 brings, and very honored to be part of Toy Story 2 and 3. Pixar is an incredible organization within our company.
She was in 2 and 3. Who's she voiced?
Work with Disney and Pixar has been a gift, a real blessing. Really thank you.
I've got to say, it was a real honor meeting Jodie Benson, the voice of Ariel of, you know, in many ways kickstarted the Disney Renaissance with all of the movies that came afterwards. But in terms of the actual Little Mermaid show, the musical adventure, every element of it was an upgrade on what Voyage of a Little Mermaid was. And I suppose that's not really a hard thing to do.
That does look kind of cool.
I've been running for so many years. But in terms of the narrative arc, it was more of a stage show. It wasn't like Voyage of a Little Mermaid, where it was, you know, a lot of the animation from the movie and then just a few musical numbers. It kind of carried the same narrative arc as Under the Sea with the Little Mermaid, the ride at Magic Kingdom.
But in a stage,
stage show format in many ways. And they've also added Kiss the Girl to this show as well, which is one of the most iconic Disney songs there is. And so to see that finally in this show, it's fantastic. So overall, I would say The Little Mermaid.
It's all right. It's all right.
Upgrade, massive improvement. And it's just nice to see something like this get this kind of love, care, and attention put into this show once again, so it can stay around for many years to come. And so therefore, that's everything today for this video.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, what kind of stinks is that it's not, like he said, like we already have Mermaid at Magic Kingdom in a ride form, and now it's just the same thing but just in a stage show form. Like I feel like we don't need both of those, you know what I mean? But all right, you know, it seems all right. We have to watch it. We have to go watch it. We're gonna go watch that. We're gonna go watch Villains. We're gonna do all that stuff.